Hi, my name is John Munson and I'm running for Town Councilor Precinct 2. Looking forward to your vote, if you live in Precinct 2, on November 7th. Let me explain a little bit about who I am, if you don't know me already, and why I'm running. I've been living here in Winthrop for about 20 years. I have a home in the Maze on Lowell Road with my 2 kids and wife. I have family living all throughout the town. My sister and her family live on Emerson. My mom and dad live on Winthrop Shore Drive. And my in-laws live downstairs of us. And my brother even lives in Beachmont. But I also have a small business here. I have a photography and framing studio. And we have a lot of events there where people can come take a look at local artists. The artwork is quite inspiring. And ultimately, I'm basically, as a business owner, just celebrating life and just cherishing moments and helping people do that with beautiful frames. But you can see why I'm all in on Winthrop. I love this town. It's been good to us. And I have a vested interest in making sure that it continues to be a great, small bedroom community that is good for everybody. I think that it's good to know a little bit more about me. I grew up in Maine. I was one of 4 kids. I was the middle child, and I often look for that middle ground as a middle child. I'm always looking for solutions that make everybody happy. Even in my businesses, in my previous jobs, I was a director of research and training for a strategy consulting firm here in the Boston area, and that was a lot of what I had to do too. I had to synthesize a lot of information, come up with solutions and presentations, and so I think that's pretty applicable to this position as a town councilor. We're one of 9 councilors that makes decisions for the whole town, and I am one of those guys that tries to reach across the lines and work with people to come up with solutions that work for everybody, not just one group, but everybody. So I actually have a precinct map here. I'm sure you can't see it, but in this little town of around 19,000, 20,000 people, there are 6 precincts. And there, in addition to the 6 precincts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we also have 2 councilors at large and a council president, and they represent everybody. And there's only, as of right now, 2 contested positions, my precinct and also the councilor at large position that Tracy Honan is stepping down from. There are 2 other positions. Stephen Ruggiero is stepping down, and he's being placed by John DeRoss, who's an uncontested. Suzanne Swope is replacing Barbara Flockhart here in Seal Harbor down to Governor's Park, the Highlands. That's Precinct 4. But everyone else is staying on for 2 more years until the next election. So I'm hoping that you'll vote for me, but more importantly, I just wanted to talk about Winthrop and where we're at a major crossroads. We have some major decisions to make that probably affect us for the next few decades anyway. We overall have a great town. We were just recently given an A- for our finances by our auditor. We just had a fall forum, and you can hear the department heads and the town manager, Tony Marino, talk about all the positive things that are going on in this town. So overall, we're doing very well. We have all new schools. We have a lot of new roads. We're going to be finishing up Revere Street and Crest in the not too distant future. Once those are done, we will really be ahead of the game. But there's some things that need some work on. In terms of safety, we have had reoccurring issues with accidents in the same spots on Pleasant Street. We've also had some major complaints about walking safety. There's an ongoing debate right now about biking and scootering. So that still needs to be worked out, fleshed out, so that it's safe. It has been, like I said, very safe. Even my kids walk to school every day for the majority of their childhood with the group of their friends, and it was lovely, and it still is, and we want to keep it that way. You know, a nice stroll in the evening with your spouse. I think that, or anyone, is a wonderful town to live in, and we're going to try to keep it that way. So, street safety, public safety is a priority. One of the things that is entailed in that safety topic is climate resiliency. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but it's raining harder, the storms are heavier, and it floods more. And you know, the 100-year storm took place not too long ago. Well, now it's happening every few years. There's a mega storm where there's, a flood breaching. For example, we had on Pleasant Street, right off in front of Girdlestone and Tileston, there was major flooding. And so the DPW was fantastic, got a lot of that resolved, but there's some of it is large investments. And we really need to kind of work on making sure that we are climate resilient. There's money out there to be had. There's strategies to be put in place. We have some work to be done there in terms of climate resiliency. And that falls to me under the big public safety umbrella. And so that's a super important priority for me, is to make sure that we feel safe in our own town. Another thing that falls in that category is inclusivity. Inclusivity is basically a feeling of belonging in your own town. And that's actually a safety thing too. When you don't feel safe to be yourself in your own town because you're a different whatever, that's not good. And I think that everyone should feel comfortable in this town, no matter what color, no matter what denomination, no matter what religion, socioeconomic, it doesn't matter what kind of walk of life you're from, you should feel comfortable in this town. It shouldn't be something you're nervous doing, as being yourself. So these all fall under just basic standard of living of safety. I mean, we can't take that for granted. There are countries right now at war, and we should really cherish our safety and the small town comfortable feel that we have, and really protect it. So those are some important issues, but two that are really also pressing that need immediate attention is the firehouse and the old middle school. These are two big major topics, and I could have a whole 15 minutes on each of these topics, but I think in short, two firehouses that we have were built for horses and carriages, and so I think that we need to obviously update and get a new one. But it's not whether we need one, it's where is the best location. And everyone can vote their opinion. I think there's been a lot of misinformation strewn across Facebook and other social media, but ultimately I'm for it. It's a choice location. It's strategic that the fire chose to be right there on Winthrop Street, which allows you to get to everywhere in town within 5.5 minutes. It's also conjoined with the police and as a strategic location for them, because then they can share resources as they kind of modernize their building in the years to come. So we would have, in essence, a public safety building right there in the heart of town, above any kind of flooding possibilities, in a permanently safe central location. And we've looked at all the other locations, and they've all had their problems. Is this solution perfect? By no means, but it is a good one. I'm for it. I hope you can look at the details. Get on winthropfirestation.com and look into it, and you'll see this isn't a perfect solution, but it's a very good one. And for the record, all of the tenants are being taken care of. The town is on the hook to make sure their relocation costs are covered. As of right now, I know of no businesses that are going to be displaced out of town. Everyone will have a place, so that is a positive. The old middle school is another topic that you could carry on for a while about. But in short, I feel as though I'm in a good position to be able to affect that in a very positive way. As I said before, I'm the middle child. I like to help kind of galvanize and bring together a possible solution. I also love transparency, bringing opinions from the town, bringing in all the inputs, bringing in lots of proposals, as many as possible, to create and pull from the resources, the knowledges, the ideas, the imagination, the creativity of the developers that would be proposing, not necessarily forcing just one idea of, let's say, a sports complex, which is a good idea, but we want to get as many ideas as possible so that we can choose from the best choice and then make a decision that fits and appeals to the most people in Winthrop. Are you going to make everybody happy? No. But I think it's important that we are trying to benefit the most people in this town. What are we avoiding? We're going to try to avoid traffic and less parking problems. So as part of that plan, whatever it is, we need to make sure that we're not making this town harder to live in. It's already pretty tough to get in and out of here during the work week. But, you know, so those are the major issues. There's obviously other ones. We've got a lot of cool things on the horizon with the town council. I will say that having been here now for 2 years, having been appointed to this position 2 years ago, having gotten to know how it works, what a town councilor should and can do, I am understanding now of my role, and I think that puts me in a favorable position in comparison to my candidates, the two other candidates. I do respect the candidates, and I think they're great assets. We're on the same team. We all care about Winthrop, and that makes me respect them and like them. And I hope that they continue to be a part of Winthrop and helping this town be better. We need as many volunteers as possible to make it all happen. So, but in short, I feel as though I'm well positioned for these next 4 years as a Precinct 2 councilor. I think I will help to get a lot of these things done. We even have an Airbnb issue that's going to be addressed. I'm looking forward to tackling that. I've been pushing that ever since I've been here. There's a lot of, it's kind of like the wild, wild west of Airbnb and transient lodging. Everyone's kind of doing it. There's apparently 126 units renting right now, and only 11 or 12 were registered. So we've got that to tackle, and revising that ordinance so that it's easier to actually, you know, make the people that are not doing it right, you know, appeal and get to the point where we can get it all on board. Our neighborhoods are safe, and you know, control it. Start conservatively with a very few number, and then grow it. You know, I think we'll be fine. I did want to tell you that November 7th is an important day. We have a lot of things on the ballot. We have obviously the councilor at large position between Max and Todd is an important one. I think that, and voting for me ideally, if you're in Precinct 2, I think is important. But there's a lot more stuff. The fire station, the debt exclusion request. In short, I want you to know, if you say yes, you're for the fire station at the Winthrop Street location. If you say no, you don't want it to go through. There's some more stuff here. Housing Authority, School Committee, Trustees of the Public Library. That's page 2. Then we have more. And then we also have what is proposed charter amendments. And I suggest you guys read this thoroughly and make sure that you're aware of them before you walk into it. But, you know, I think that having been here and obviously my accomplishments kind of speak for themselves a little bit, I think you guys should know, if I were to be reelected, I would make sure that we're working for everyone, not just a small specific group. I'm working for galvanizing and creating solutions for the most people. I am looking at my leadership style as basically a team player, working together, and reasonable, intelligent, but with compassion. So please consider voting for me on November 7th if you live in Precinct 2. And thank you, and I'm grateful to be here in Winthrop, even in this position, to speak to you. Thanks again, and have a great day.